Oh my God, Lakers got Luka. The Los Angeles Lakers are about to start a completely new era with Luka Doncic as the foundational piece of this franchise. Long-term vision here, real quick. Okay. Long-term vision of the Los Angeles Lakers. You got one of the top 5 players in the league for the next, let's call it 7 to 10 years. And you know why I have that range? Because I'm also going to put a little bit of heat on Luka here. That dude's got to take care of his body. I'm going to get into all that. His conditioning. We're going to find out a lot about Luka too. I think we're really going to find out a lot about Luka, just how bad he wants to be a legend in this game. But let me go to the long-term vision. There's been so much chatter and conversation. What are the Lakers going to do moving forward? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Who's going to be the guy that takes over this franchise and takes over this team? I don't have the answer for you. I know LeBron's 40. I know if you wanted Anthony Davis to be the AD is going to lead you to an NBA championship, I think we all can agree that Anthony Davis can be obviously a huge piece to a championship team. But I don't think you could hand the keys to Anthony Davis and say it's your franchise and we're building completely around you. Now, I will tell you that I was okay with seeing how that was going to play out. I've been talking about Anthony Davis as the present, Anthony Davis as the future. I've been saying over the last couple of weeks when, AD had that quote with Shams about, I need another big, going publicly with it. I talked about how the front office needs to listen to Anthony Davis. His voice is much louder at this stage of his career than LeBron, who's 40 years old. We've been talking about who's going to be the next guy for the Lakers. This is what the Lakers are. This is their franchise. They got top players that are generational talent, and that's what this franchise has done for 60-plus years. They got Luka now. Long-term vision for the Lakers is probably in the next year and a half, LeBron James is going to be done. And the Lakers are going to build a franchise around Luka. By the way, just think about this here for a quick second. You're an NBA free agent coming up here in the next year and a half. Okay? Luka's a Los Angeles Laker. You got one of the most powerful brands in all of sports. Dallas Cowboys, New York Yankees, Los Angeles Lakers, Manchester United, Barcelona. Start putting the Dodgers in that category with what they're doing and their international stars that they've been able to grab here these last couple of years. You're going to tell me there isn't a star today that woke up this morning and said, I'm going to be a free agent in about a year and a half. I could play with Luka when he's 26, 27. Do you know when you start the prime of your career? 28. Supposedly, the prime of your career is between 28 and 32. Long-term view for the Lakers. Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss have to be sitting down this morning, this afternoon, saying to themselves, God has just given us the ultimate gift. What did we do to deserve a phone call from Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks to want to make a trade for Luka Doncic? The long-term vision for the Lakers now completely changes. Whatever you thought of it before. By the way, even if you were going to build around AD when LeBron is done, all right, well, LeBron or AD is about to turn 32 years old. Like I said, the prime of your career, really, if you're going to build around Anthony Davis, you need a star as good as Anthony Davis if the Lakers are actually really going to make a run and go out there and compete against some of these other teams. Long-term vision for the Lakers. You get to build around Luka, who's a couple years away from his prime, who, by the way, has to feel so disrespected by the Dallas Mavericks that they said, look at all the reports coming out about his conditioning, about his contract. Guys, this is how the NBA works. I don't care if he's $345 million. There's a salary cap in the NBA. Every player is getting these contracts. Guys that shouldn't be getting paid $50 million a year are getting $50 million a year. Luka's worth whatever contract that you're giving him in the NBA. This isn't baseball where you could just offer a dude $735 million. This is different. Whatever the top 5 players are worth in the market, they're actually worth more than that in the open market. How does Luka not feel long-term vision? How does Luka not feel incredibly disrespected by the Dallas Mavericks? So you're going to get a player in Luka that's a Laker who's a couple years away from being a couple years away from getting into his prime, joining a franchise that thirsts for superstars, have the pressure every single year of saying, you got to the Western Conference Finals, cool, not good enough. Yeah, but we just got to the Western, yeah, it's not good enough. That when they get to the Western Conference Finals, a year later, they will fire their head coach. And I'm not telling you this is a smart front office to be doing this, but these are just the absurd expectations that the Lakers have. They had Frank Vogel, who won an NBA championship, and because the front office made a bad move for Russell Westbrook, they're like, get rid of Frank Vogel. That's how absurd the Laker expectations are. You get Luka walking into his prime, a couple years away from it. LeBron's going to be done in a year and a half, I'm assuming, okay? Who knows? Maybe LeBron decides to go longer. It's going to be done in a year and a half, and you're going to be able to really, really go out there and obviously target a superstar to play with Luka. The brand of the Los Angeles Lakers and how you could eventually put these two together, there's got to be players out there that saying, I would love to play with Luka and be on the Lakers and get the marketing that I can get and make more money than I could possibly imagine and be on a franchise where I could eventually be a legend. Because that's what the Lakers have cropped. Legends. Legends have come from everywhere to be Los Angeles Lakers. That's the long-term vision that the Lakers have by grabbing Luka. I don't know what to tell you, but did the NBA just not completely shift and change in the last 12, 14 hours? The way you knew the NBA before, I swear on everything, the league has completely changed to me. However I viewed the league before, I view it differently. Did you guys listen to, whether you heard when I was doing the post-game show yesterday, or you just saw some of these feeds showing Kevin Durant's reaction, Devin Booker's reaction? These were guys that were playing last night, so they can react while this was actually going on, or during their post-game interview, they had mics in front of them that are basically asking about the trade. Do you know what each of these guys said? They're like, if Luka can get traded, oh my God, anyone can get traded. You know what they didn't say? If Anthony Davis can get traded, anyone. No, all of their reactions were like, Luka got traded. What did Devin Booker say? He's like, when I first heard Luka, I was like, Luka Garza? I said, not Luka Doncic, right? It can't be Luka. It absolutely can't be Luka Doncic. Long-term plan for the Lakers. If you had concern before about the long-term plan for the Lakers, you should no longer be concerned about the long-term plan. It doesn't mean they have to, they're not supposed to figure out the roster. You know, if I will say one thing here on Luka, and I'll do the short-term plan, but I'll do the short-term plan that has more to do with between now and the NBA trade deadline and what the Lakers need to do from there. I'll do that. Let me do that after I talk with Eric Pincus and Eric Pincus comes on, because I don't want to get that started and then, you know, I got to cut myself short here. But let me say this real quick about Luka. We're going to find out long-term plan what Luka wants to be, because Luka's walking into a situation where he literally can become a legend. He's on a franchise that is built off of legends, superstars. Go to a Laker game. Go look up in the rafters. You know what you see there? You see 17 NBA championships. You know what else you see there? You see an in-season tournament win too. Don't you ever forget that in-season tournament win. That championship, it's above them all. You see the 17 NBA championships. And then you know what else you see? You see Jerry West's jersey, Magic Johnson's jersey, Kobe Bryant's jersey, Shaquille O'Neal's jersey, one day LeBron James' jersey, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's jersey, Jamal Wilkes' jersey, James Worthy's jersey, Michael Cooper's. Go down the list. Go down the list of all these greats that have played in the NBA, also represented the Lakers and won championships. This whole conditioning stuff we're talking about Luka, if that's a conversation for Luka, then I'm going to look at Luka completely differently. Because if this man right now doesn't have his blood boiling, that the Dallas Mavericks didn't believe in him, turned their back on him, he's only 25, just got to the NBA Finals, is an all-first-team NBA 5 times before he even turned 26. Only Tim Duncan and what was the other name that was out there? I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Whatever those the 2 all-time greats were. If he doesn't feel disrespected, if he doesn't have this unbelievable newfound motivation, then I'm going to look at Luka differently. Because if you're Luka Doncic right now, you're coming on a franchise that expects greatness, Hall of Famers everywhere you look. And if your issue is your weight and your conditioning, then maybe Luka just doesn't have the drive. Then maybe Nico Harrison was right to say, you know what, I'm going to trade this guy now because it's going to be a headache later. I don't believe that. I'm going to take my chances. I'll take my chances with Luka. I'll take my chances that that's not the case. But we're going to find out a little bit more about Luka as well. Because we should not be having conversations about an NBA player who's top 5 in the NBA that's got conditioning issues. We should not be, who's about to get paid $345 million. Well, he can't do the Supermax now. So whatever that contract looks like, we're going to find out a little bit more about Luka. And I believe genuinely that you're probably going to get the best version that you've ever seen from Luka in these next 3, 4, 5 years. Part of it because he's a Los Angeles Laker. Part of it because the Dallas Mavericks said, no, thank you. So I think a combination of a little bit of all that. All right, if you enjoyed this clip and you want more, just subscribe to the channel. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the Sliwa Show. And then after every Lakers game, post-game show right here.